Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Faceless Void.
Navi's turn to pick.
Oracle.
Navi's turn to pick.
Outworld Devourer.
Dire team pick.
Witch Doctor.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Navi's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Welcome back,
Navi's
ladies
turn
and gentlemen.
Navi's
Yes, we're here
turn
again.
to
We've got
pick.
another best of one from the CIS group stage of WePlay Season 3, and we're ready. We're cracking into things. We've got the draft up and running as Power Rangers take on Navi. Now, unfortunately for both of these teams, winning and taking that top spot of the group stage is not something they can
Dire
achieve,
team
but
pick.
it's all down to pride, whether they can continue winning games against each other and getting that morale up and pumping, because Vegas Squadron, they're already 12-2. They've already pretty much demolished the CIS region, and they are up in the lofty peaks of Victory Land. But later on tonight, we're going to have some games which are pretty important for EU West. As London Conspiracy have a couple of matches for themselves. But without further ado, let's get through this draft, cracking into it. I'll welcome on my
Navi's
co-caster in a
turn
little
to
bit,
pick.
because these guys are drafting so bloody quickly. Spirit Wisp, Nature's Prophet, Batrider, Lone Druid, Chen, Queen of Pain, Jericho Band Out, Faceless Void, Witch Doctor, Juggernaut, Oracle, Outworld Devourer, and Enchantress all picked up, and Mop Packs. What is the fourth pick for Navi going to be? Can you guess?
Vengeful Spirit.
Spirits. Alright, let's see then. Is it going to be the Venge? Is it going to be the Venge? Still thinking hard about this one, but...
It might be Disruptor. That would be the other one.
10
They want to
seconds
save their
remaining.
core. But those would be my two picks. I think Venge is just solid
5
as the,
seconds
obviously
remaining.
against Faceless Void. It's good as a core or a support hero, but the
Reserve
extra
time.
range for like Glimpse up against the Witch Doctor, as well as the Static Storm up against the like Faceless Void and everything like that's pretty good. Just helps for more area denial, because like your allies can't walk through the Chrono as well. So sometimes you can put a Static Storm like next to the Chrono, and you can zone out an entire team fight. Kind of use the Chrono up against them. So same thing with Kinetic Field.
Oh, they're taking their sweet time, thinking hard about this one. While Power Rangers, you know, Chronosphere from Faceless Void, Juggernaut, Omni Slash to bounce over the top, the Death Ward combination with that Chrono as well.
Damn.
It's going to be a Beastmaster for Navi.
Yo!
Navi's turn to ban.
Interesting.
Well, who it is, my friend?
It's a Rise
That
Magnus.
looks like an Arise Magnus. I mean, it's the Juggernaut. It's the classic. One should always suspect it when Arise is in the draft. I believe. I don't know,
10
actually. I've
seconds
saw a few of their recent games. I think this is the first Arise Magnus since... I don't know. Have you
5
caught one?
seconds remaining.
No, I haven't. I mean, they only announced that himself and Keanu were joining, what,
Reserve
4
time.
days ago, 5 days ago? It was quite a recent thing, right? Or was it long?
Yeah, it looks like that's the only. This is their first one, at least on tickets. So kind of exciting.
Oh.
Since he's back.
General Beastmaster. Dendi OD and Artstyle and Enchantress. We've seen some great things from Artstyle and Enchantress. It really fits his playstyle very well. Aggression early, and he can get himself into those key items a little bit faster, while Seneko Oracle should be interesting one to watch out for. I'm a little bit worried about Power Rangers lineup here. Mainly, though, due to this Chronosphere plus double melee core strat. You know, you don't have that range damage to come in over the top.
Navi's
And the
turn
Viper
to
Ban.
pick.
Hey, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's always the Enchantress. I always forget. It's always that lovely little art style support. They never run it off lane for Navi, so Beastmaster makes quite a bit of sense here. The Venge, it is a little bit surprising they went with the Venge ban. I guess they just didn't want it. Would have been nice to synergize with their whole idea, but it looks like they're kind of thinking possibly OD safe lane and the Viper ban out nice for that as well. But yeah, the attack speed buffs you already got coming out from the OD. Wait, what? Could they just go Invoker?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I think you've nailed on the head there, because I was looking at this, thinking, right, General, you know, he plays a lot of Batrider, a bit of Beastmaster here and there. He's played a bit of Void, so Beastmaster off lane for General. OD, can't remember the last time. Can't remember watching Navi play OD. I can't remember who was playing it. Maybe safe lane did your OD and then they put Invoker mid for Dendi still. That's definitely a possibility. And then you've got this global power once Beastmaster hits 6, but it's going to be a Lycan.
Dire team pick.
Right?
It's a little bit more Ditch-Raw style. They're doing that a little bit lately. That's something Pierre have been trying it lately as well. A lot of push strats. They were doing Lycan, Shadow Shaman, kind of similar. They did Dragonite, I believe, for Rise a couple of games ago as well. So won't be this game. This will be much more defensive. And they have the heroes, though. You've got the Faceless Void Chrono. Like, you can really punish this kind of group up and fight aspect. And the Lena's another, you know, excellent hero to throw into this. You're going to have the LSA, you're going to have the Dragon Slave, just throw stuff out, blow up these creep waves. Zeus would have been nice as well, but when you're going for like more of the support role, it's a little bit harder to squeeze the Zeus into that. So I like this. I think both drafts look good. I kind of give the advantage over to Navi, though. That's a pretty scary looking lineup.
Oh yeah, I would be inclined to agree as well. In Dendi mid against this Arise Magnus, I know Arise is good, but playing against an OD is definitely not the easiest feat, especially when you've got an Artstyle Enchantress, Seneko Oracle kind of floating around the mid lane. But he does have a couple of supports that can react reasonably well, J4 and Bignum, Witch Doctor and Lena. They can TP in and maybe try and help out the Magnus. They definitely do have a lot of damage behind them as well for that killing power. You know, if by some miracle Arise gets an Invis rune and skewers Dendi back into the tower and Bignum's there for the LSA, OD is not a tanky hero. He can burn out very quickly in the laning stage. Find out how exactly things pan out as Ditch-Raw. What? Wait a second. He's already out of the fountain. He's getting himself away. Icon for Ditch-Raw already up and running as Seneko TPs out aggressively to this lane, and take a look. Null Talisman level 1 for the Oracle already. You can see the statement of intent. They want to try and harass out this Void as much as humanly possible. Really, you can only do that with a massive amount of right clicks as Cheshire Cat hides himself away in the trees and might be looking for that sneaky little pull across and drag the creep wave all the way back to his tier 1, but find out a little bit. Arise mid Magnus, no surprises there. Up at top, Keanu Juggernaut with Bignum Lena. Over in the back is J4 playing the Witch Doctor, while the Radiant General Beastmaster boots first, get himself the hell away, because this Witch Doctor cast is going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. We're already looking for high ground defense of this top bounty rune. Rest of Navi, Dendi OD, Artstyle on the
30
Enchantress.
seconds to battle.
Navi can get up and running in the first 5-6 minutes. If Artstyle gets a good couple of creeps, this top lane could be where we see all this action. We're already starting off. The Boar Scouts out, the 4-man group up here. It's the freaking Thunderdome. Do sentry up this camp and make sure that Beastmaster doesn't have that easy access to farm. He will be forced out of lane relatively early on, I feel.
Yeah, General's just like, glad I did not go in there. They think there was a ward, actually. They threw down the sentry. And is that blocks right there? Oh yeah, they were not thinking it's a ward. That is like the stupidest thing ever. So that is a block, correct?
Mm-hmm. It should be.
Yeah, it's a little box that goes like there, like that-ish.
Yeah, it's a fun. Cat, are you going to cut through these trees? Ditch-Raw is blocking up this wave, but Cat's Void should be able to drag it across. Now the trouble is he's being intercepted by Seneko, who hasn't leveled anything up. There's a Fortune's End to try and slow down this annoying little play. We're already watching an attempted courier snipe as well. Micro it. Little donkey. Little donkey. Oh, he's in trouble. They've got big number Lina. Ah, there we go. There we go. Drags it around a little tree line. Great play there. And I guess that was art style. Just microing it a little bit more. Dendy getting in with his last hits. 1 and 3. Denying out Arise's experience already from a very early stage. While the rest of the lanes, General hiding in the trees, waiting to pounce back onto J4. It's all balance. Big Num. Dual laning with Arise right now. You just know how difficult it is. Playing against no D.
Yeah, Snako, he tried a couple cheeky things down here. Tried to get Roshan to pull out into the creep wave. Just a little bit too late though, but Cheshire Cat, he is used up his salve. He did manage to harass him the full way down. And it's looking pretty good, obviously, for the Faces, but it's so interesting that we're seeing this little bit of a pull going on. Oh geez, that is a dead J4.
Oh man. Paying attention to bottom lane where Cheshire Cat was actually beating out Snako there with his right clicks.
Yeah.
But you're right, top lane with a Howl and this Scatter. Hostile with General pairing up nicely to get that initial kill. Out onto the Witch Doctor. Keanu, this farming lane, you know, he's 8-0, no denies, but he's going to be in a bit of a sticky situation as Arstyle comes back in with a Scatter Blast, looking for that trap from the Troll as well to catch out J4 again. The initial stage is very good for Na'Vi as they pressure top lane, aggression from the Enchantress. And Dendy, he's relatively simply winning mid straight up.
I mean, it's kind of what you expect. OD's been changed, but he hasn't changed all that much. He's still this, you know, lane dominator, completely wrecks you. You have the escape, obviously, in the skewer, but not getting any points in that early on just because he needs to be guaranteed farm through the shockwave, so times are tough here for Rise. At least there's so much pressure up top from Artstyle that you're not seeing that rotation come in, because that's when like the real pain's gonna start.
With Big Num's Lina here, what does he plan on doing? You just stack and try and build up bank for yourself later on? At least he's hit level 2, but dealing with this aggressive lane from Na'Vi, the Witch Doctor and Lina, sure they've got good aggressive power and a decent amount of defensive with Voodoo Restoration, but they haven't skilled that up. They've gone for Maledict plus Cast. They don't have any healing power, and with a rapid from Artstyle, they'll go straight in onto the Lina, but the Cast is already thrown out. They'll clear up the Hellbear Smasher. RV, you just see there's aggressive power from them already. Running rampant across these lanes, and bot lane Cheshire Cat, how's he doing? How's he doing? One last hit, 0 denied, level 2. I'm just being forced back by this Null Talisman on Snako. We used to see it on the Bane, right? To right-click people and punch them. Great on an Oracle as well.
Now, it's hard to find that sustained damage, especially when you do pick up the Oracle, obviously, because Purifying Flames is all your burst damage. Is one of those things that he loves to be up against as a Faceless Void, but it's working out well. Bignum in trouble up top. Yeah, I'll say he should be okay.
Turn back onto Artstyle, but it's little Bambi tanking through everything they throw at him, and with Bignum turning into the Sentinel, like maybe could have been a stomp for General to turn back around, and look at this damage onto the poor little Lina. The Boars are chasing him down, slowing up the Lina, but they clear everything up with a good spin out from Keanu. Take out all the little minions. General got an Iron Talon for himself. Allow him to dip back into the jungle. I'm a little bit surprised though with the great play they've already had. Does he need it?
Yeah, I think that was like the plan. Like they had the sentry, but it's now run out, so it was blocked off, and now it'll spawn. So that's going to open this up to Artstyle. But the fact, like going for this early Maledict, I think the plan was to try and force General out because you know that you've blocked off that camp, so he has to go all the way to the jungle if he wants any farm. But thanks to the rotation of Artstyle just hanging it up there, they weren't able to zone out this Beastmaster. And being level 4 at 4 minutes, he's so happy with it, even if he has to die, honestly.
That's kind of an acceptable death. Artstyle though continues the chase. He's got no mana to slow down Keanu here. Knows the spin is down. He's trying to do as much chip damage as he can back onto the Juggernaut. But you just look at the other lanes, you know, you've given away this kill on General. But like all dual off lanes, there's always this trade-off. There's always this balance, right? You've forced the 2 supports to stay top, which is, I think, the biggest thing here. Giving away a kill, okay, fair enough, but Keanu has been, you know, farming limited amounts of creeps. He's being blasted from long-ass range by Artstyle. Now they're coming in behind us tier 1. General wants to join in as well. But you're limiting the power of Arise mid. He's been forced to 1v1 against OD, which is not where he wants to be. He wants Lina or Witch Doctor to try and save him. Good Astral will stop the skewer. Not going to get forced back.
2-level deficit right now.
It's insane. While Cheshire Cat at bottom lane, he's in a 1v2, so every lane for Na'Vi here. Even if they do give away a couple of kills willy-nilly here and there. It's fine because they're pressuring tier 1. Juggernaut can't farm. The Lina plus Witch Doctor are getting nothing done. They can't stack and pull. They can't get levels for themselves. They're just continually on defensive duty. While Na'Vi, they're just clearing up creeps. 30 last hits for both OD and Lycan. 16 for Enchantress. 16 for the Beastmaster. This is going one way, and it's going one way fast.
The pure net worth advantage that they're going to have coming out of this laning stage just because of CS is actually unreal. And then this is exactly what you need with this lineup, right? You can start building into, it's going to be the early Vlads for Ditchy-Ra, but what if they just get double Necros up? I mean, what are you going to do up against this Beastmaster and Lycan? With all these levels and gold that they're going to have on top of themselves, the push from the aura being stacked up nicely, it's going to be ridiculous.
ED rune for Dendi. Actually blocking up this camp as well. J4 observable down. They don't want Enchantress getting her hands on these creeps. Where is Artstyle right now? Back in base. Gonna TP back up the top, but status quos of these lanes are kind of been set now. You know, Cheshire Cat, he's relegated to leeching experience, just desperately scrambling to get that level 6. Artstyle, that's not the best creep you can grab, the potato creep. Got the little cloak aura on them, but with a hawk looking over the top of the tree line, they see J4. The damage output's good, not quite enough to finish him off. Piano clears through again for the Boars and the Hellbear, but he can't sustain himself in this lane alone. They're going to shove this wave to tier 1, then maybe start moving into mid.
General has 20 last hits, like 21 last hits right now up against this Juggernaut. It's so insane.
Arise is farming jungle with his Empower. Oh, bloody. Level 5, not even level 6 at 7 minutes. Dendi's closing in on level 8. Artstyle wrapping himself in. Find out the large camp is gone, but this means he kind of knows someone's waiting around and farming the medium camp as Arise, forced out of lane, forced out of jungle. He's going to be forced out of the bloody game soon.
And all the meanwhile bottom, like Soneko, he's level 5. He's just hanging out in lane, got that Melt House and some boots. Arming up while Ditchy-Ra takes the jungle.
Oh, they want to kill Artstyle. They've had enough of this bloody Bambi. Big Num, level 4, has LSA, but they're not going to catch him. Artstyle's so quick on his feet with that 380 movement speed, just hop, skip, and a jump away. Oh, they're being pulled from pillar to post here. Power Rangers, you know, they move from lane to lane into the jungle, playing basically on the back foot the entire time, looking for any little movement they can get over Na'Vi, but it's just not possible. Honestly, Na'Vi have won these lanes so hard, they may as well just DDoS Power Rangers as well.
I gotta say, one of my favorite cores as well up against Faceless Void, it is this Lycan. Like, he's going in on him right now.
Time Walk's available for Cheshire Cat. Oh god. Damage output shouldn't be good enough here from Ditchy-Ra. The DPS from Soneko a little bit far away with the Purifying Flames. Cheshire Cat, good move there with a walk and TP out.
Yeah, that was a little bit, you know, somewhat hopeful. Like, you love the Wolves because they have the long duration, like, sustained damage. Just over time, can't time walk it, and I think they needed them a little bit weaker before they went for that play, but it's a TP out. You know, they'll take it.
Dire levels here. Not looking great. 4, 5, 5, 6,
Look at the last hit chart.
Yeah,
I mean...
I know, I'm switching between the two of them. You know, last hit, it's all green at the top. Levels, it's all green at the top. Net worth, it's all bloody green at the top. Na'Vi, even their support to farm, this Enchantress and Oracle, getting a hell of a lot out of this entire map. It's just Value Town. Non-stop as Power Rangers. They definitely want to put a halt to this. Arise with his first RP of the game. He's been spotted by the Hawk. Maybe they can kill off Artstyle. Yep, they've got the spin. They've got the skewer. Giving Arise that kill puts him a little bit closer to that Blink Dagger, but it's all a pipe dream. It's all a distant memory. And still, towards mid, Dendi is pummeling and pounding into this tier 1.
Yeah, I like the bracers. I'd like to see him just finish up the drums. I think that's definitely the item here, just because Lycan's got other things to build, General's got other things to build, you know, building in these double Necros if they'd like, or you could even just go for the BKB if you really want a little bit of fighting power on your Lycan, and let the Beastmaster Necros just do their own thing. We need some auras though. Like, come on, General, get some levels here, boy. No more axes. It's aura time.
Oh, they go for the Roar of the Keanu, the Juggernaut, the one-roll carry. Taken out by the offlaner support. I mean, Lycan was there, but I don't even realize I didn't even need it. Damage output was good enough from these two. Oh, Dendi just farms through his drums. Gets into the jungle, dips back in there to increase GPM. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. These tier 1 towers, I feel, are just forfeit from Power Rangers. If they try and defend, it's going to be super awkward. Like, sure enough, they've got Chrono and Cheshire Cat, but what's their follow-up? Where does their damage come from?
They need like a solo chrono to set up for an Omni Slash onto. I don't even know who you hope for, honestly. But like, even then you still have to just spam out waves and hope they can't take the tower with 4. I don't even think you can push into like a further engagement unless you get a really crazy overextension into like a double RP or something.
Oh, Arise, 1200 gold away from that blink. Getting there. He's getting there, slowly but surely. Not died just yet, and with that 1 kill, he has been, he has been playing very well, honestly. With the amount of pressure that Na'Vi have been putting on him, I think Power Rangers, they've done good, or they've done well to react to what Na'Vi are doing. It's just that their backs are up against the wall. They've got very limited maneuvers available to them. They'll actually try and counteract this and get some gold of their own. So, you look at the kill on the Juggernaut, fair enough, it happens. It happens. At least Keanu is still getting his last hits, he's still getting some item progression, and he's not dropping that far behind. He's 500 behind the Lycan in terms of net worth. It's not devastating. It's not completely game-losing. Power Rangers, they still have a chance. It's all about execution from here on out. As I just want to keep looking back, Dendy with 41 friend denies. Like, why? Why, Dendy? Why do you need this many? Why do you need 41?
It's a matter of pride at this point, honestly.
42. I'd be giggling to myself like, I'm denying all the creeps. But it's just one of those things, you don't need to do it. But he's doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah, he always does that. One of those guys. I like to see them get active with this haste rune, honestly. They're looking for the big kill here using this Chronosphere.
With Death Ward.
Will there be enough rotations? Are they gonna get it?
Oh. Jump in. Yeah, they've got it. Just tap. Chrono's there. Death Ward out from J4 to place it well up on the high ground with the Laguna Blade. They'll secure the kill on Dendy. Nako tried the counteracting TP in to try and save his mate. Wasn't quite fast enough with that damage output from Power Rangers, just a little bit too speedy, but in the meantime, Na'Vi do get their name up on this tier 1 tower bottom lane. There's a lot of ultis expended by Power Rangers, so there'll be a bit of a lull here. While PR cannot fight, Na'Vi can. They're the ones that are now going to push forward like hyper aggressively and look for all these tier 1s, and maybe even Roshan.
Yeah, exactly. The Lycan on your team. Now they've got that tier 1 down, they can start looking towards the mid tier 1 if they want to maybe take that as an objective first. Potentially even just build up into your necro books as well. It looks like that's still not decided here for the Lycan. I'd say it might just be brown boot necros though.
Could be. And into Roshan they go.
It's an invis rune. They can set up for this.
Who has the invis rune?
Arise, he's in the pit.
Oh my god, you're right. RP, skewer up on the high ground, skewer up, caught up with ourselves. Spin is good, back onto the Dragon Slayer across it. Did you run dropping? Whoa! Power Rangers! Look at them go! He took the Omni Flash out onto Dichira. The healing is not going to be enough. He'll pop himself into oblivion. As PR get a double kill out of that and that Roshan attempt. Oh man, I was looking like, who's got invis? Who? Arise in the pit! Oh, Keanu, this isn't the play, mate. Oh, buddy. He's got the spin, but the damage output from Dendy. He's running himself away, a little bit worried about what's going to come in from the side, but the turn, the Eclipse, takes them all over, doesn't finish anybody off with Big Nut dropping out. They still catch Cheshire Cat with a Fortune's End, but the Hawk on the high ground. Perfect vision, good roar, and good old kill. Na'Vi, it'll clear up Roche. Give it to Dendy. Yeah, definitely still got something out of that.
Oh, I mean, that's so ridiculous, having that invis rune. It's nice to have it, obviously, and getting at the Roshan pit, so it was well played by them, but very fortunate, obviously, for the side of Pierre, but they answer right back, Na'Vi. They managed to clean it up a little bit there. So they're going to be able to grab themselves the tower, the Aegis, and it's still a pretty big uphill battle, but that blink, man, it's all on a rise. Gotta believe in the blinks, the empowers on top of your Juggernaut for Keanu. Do you believe, Luca? I don't know if I believe.
I believe in Big Nut. His wave clear, it has to come thick and fast right now. The Leaner is like one of the few heroes here that Power Rangers have to stop this push in, but look in from the side, Keanu losing a lot of his HP as Dichira up full form and actually trying to chase down his Juggernaut, but spin out of the Fortune's End will get PR back to safety. The trouble is, they're just losing their towers. They've got nobody on the side lanes looking to try and split push out. They've got the Chrono available, which Cheshire Cat I think is looking to try and jump and catch. But Na'Vi has spread so well, and should have a 3-man there. They had the initiation tool available to them, but it's just high ground defense at this point for Power Rangers.
And soon the map starts to be choked off here. Dendy's moving in towards that Rod of Atos, which is a lovely pickup here. Definitely more valuable before you go high ground, like in these tier 2 battles when you're when maybe Bignum's still a little bit too close, trying to wave clear. Any sort of outside the map skirmish. So the sooner he gets it, obviously it's gonna be a lot better. And they got a nice little wrap here with General still having Roar. Catch him with the Sproink though.
This
They're
is
so deep.
the sneakiest move ever. Dendy is just a bait. Nobody knows. Power Rangers haven't got a clue. The tier 1 mid is dropping low, and the rest of Na'Vi are coming in from the side. General still on the low ground, but a good blink out from Arise. A little bit further away as the cask slows the advance as well, but you look at this, they pushed into mid tier 1. Up at top, Shiraz clearing out top tier 2. Dendy cleared the wave mid, so there's no further push in. Power Rangers have nowhere to go but one place. That's bot lane. Radiant Jungle is the safest place for them right now, as Na'Vi have, you know, this entire section of the map all on lockdown just for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. They're making the right play, I think, for PR though. Like, you just take whatever trade you can get. You have to stay grouped up. You can see it's only 4, but oh, can they at least get this? Nice blink, General, in the base.
Arise, the Magnus is caught, but it's a turnaround from PR. General, what was he up to?
He was hitting high ground. I don't... No, he should have known about the blink, so I'm not too sure.
Skewer back. Oh, Dandy. The spin from Kiana will get him to safety. Star just throws out a couple of those little spears. Power Rangers, are they grasping themselves back into this game? Is the high ground defense good enough to hold back against Na'Vi? Got some good ways of controlling. I'm just wondering about Cheshire Cat's decision to go Vlad's here. And with the amount of gold he saved up, he might be questioning it as well. That Blink Dagger is going to be imperative for PR. Get these initiations and defend high ground. There's no Raw from General. He already used it mid when he was deep inside the enemy base, so Cheshire Cat will be fine. Pull himself away.
Yeah, I really like this. It's something that I've kind of been hoping more Voids would look into when they're in this sort of position, because a lot of the time I still just see them go for the full out Vlads, but it definitely seems like they're going to be needing that Blink Dagger, get that perfect setup on the Chrono, get them maybe near the edge. So, like, even that first gank on Dendy, it was rather difficult, right? Like, the positioning of the Death Ward, they kind of just barely got it in some senses. Like, you had to commit 3 ultimates, but you can't afford that in these high ground pushes. It needs to be immediate punishment on the hero of your choice during the Chronosphere and while it's still active.
Oh, for once, Power Rangers, they're trying to set the terms of engagement all on their own. They've got a good push in the top, they're pushing mid as well. And for the first time this game, Na'Vi are the ones that seem like, you know, they're maybe a little bit unsure about what they're doing. They get the tier 2 bottom lane, that's clear cut, but they're actually mass TPing back down to this top lane. Stop this one coming in, so they will defend their tier 2. Well, the aggression from Power Rangers for once, but that's a good sign. That's a good sign from PR. They're crossing the river, they're getting things done, and they're forcing Na'Vi to react to them, rather than always the ones being on the back foot and having to, you know, expend Chrono to try and defend their high ground. As General's been left alone up at top, and Power Rangers know about this, with Arise able to blink forward, carve him back into the LSA, and damage output should be perfectly good enough. Clear up that Beastmaster. Again, another great move by PR.
Yeah, looking good here. I mean, it's all an uphill battle. It's still very difficult. Like, even though obviously you look at the kills, maybe someone's coming in, they're like, oh, nice, easy PR game. But it comes down to that high ground push. And if Na'Vi make the big missteps, which we've already seen, like from General, he just got caught out once more. Maybe not a mistake so much that time, but previously up on the high ground, getting blink skewered. It's all going to be about this next big push with the double Necro 3s, because it's up on the Beastmaster, it's up on the Lycan, you've got that Rod up, you've got a plate mail, Arise is way too deep, skewers Dendy, nice little play there, so Arise goes down.
What, Dendy has his Rod out?
Positioning. Yes, Dendy has his Rod out, and it has massive range.
It does have massive range, yeah. Killing people with that big old Rod of his.
No.
He doesn't have any difficulty getting it up, does he?
No, it was up extremely early, in fact.
Yeah, good stuff from Dendy, good stuff. They've got himself a plate mail. Bend against anything that'll turn back around on him, and you're right, these Necro 3s coming in for Na'Vi. 20-minute timing push. This is where PR, their metal is going to be tested. They don't have the Battle Fury on Jugger yet, but they do have Old Chronosphere. As Magnus, 25 seconds until RP is ready. I think Na'Vi themselves away. I wonder if Roshan is the next thing for them. Pushing high ground this early is a little bit scary still. unless you get that pick outside of the base, actually shoving up the ramp, it's not the safest thing you can possibly do, and they're going to find one. Cheshire Cat, the roar. Oh, that was close. Apeshift,
Yeah.
even popped out by Ditira.
They're just playing the punishment game, basically. It's just going to be, before, like, we want to see TTs come back, we want to know that they're in the base, and then we'll go back and farm a little bit more. We're going to push up 2 racks again, and all during that whole dance, they just need that one pick off on PR, and then Roshan, of course, is going to be the big secure there, which we'll know about in just one more minute. And they need the Beastmaster chasing the Jug, right? That's the big thing, because you need that BKB cancel up against the spin, haha, like, see you later.
Do indeed. Power Rangers, they've got something else on their mind. They want Dendy's rod, and they want it now. And blink forward. The great move by Chester Cat, but the rest of his team is a little bit slow to the party. Kiana has to omni back down. Oh, he walked into the... Oh, the chrono held him in place for a little longer, but they didn't need it just yet. Dendy just zapped down by that Laguna Blade, and Navi caught with their pants down. Power Rangers, great smoke forward. And Navi had no idea what hit them.
Alright, looking good. This is exactly what you need. Possibly... Like, I'm a little surprised at the vision, right, for Navi. Like, you take a look at the actual wards that are on the map, they did just lose this one that was up here, but in terms of, like, this area and everything like that, and yeah, maybe you can say, well, they were smoked up anyway, but if you have wards in the jungle and you see there's no one here, right, and the waves were out this far, well, they're obviously smoked up. Maybe you weren't expecting the massive dive onto your own tier 2 tower, but yeah, they're playing this precisely right, and it's such an uphill battle for them, but they're doing a great job. And at the same time, though, Navi's like positioning is giving them this opportunity.
General has to keep these Hawks pumping out. He's given vision over towards the mid lane now. Ether Lens and building a Aghanim Scepter incredibly quickly.
Take that as tribute.
Yano finally has his Battle Fury. 5-9, 22 minutes in. Navi, what is their lead like? 7,500 net worth lead, but that's dropping. Power Rangers are actually grasping themselves back into this game. The experience lead is nothing. We are having this big old Arise Magnus with Blink Force Skewer. Could be a hell to pay. Because Cheshire Cat, you know, we've seen his movements here with his Time Walk Chrono plays, and power up onto him.
We got him.
Pick off down a bot lane. One little J4. But yeah, this is something, you know, we mentioned about the Magnus Empower onto Juggernaut. There's also the Empower onto the Faceless Void. This guy can turn and switch back into this carry role because we've seen him so often as this utility Void. Vlad, Ags, Blink, Chrono, that's all he does. That's what he looks for, just the power plays with the combinations. And if you have this extra damage on the Cheshire Cat, he can swap back. He can go back into like a Yasha, a Manta style. Try and get the DPS flowing as well for him.
I think, yeah, that definitely is an option, right? Because you're looking at the overall damage on the team. When you've committed to a Magnus and a Faceless Void, who are, you know, more considered controlling heroes and 2 of your core roles, then someone does have to start going in towards that damage. It can't be just the Juggernaut. And so I think Faceless Void probably would be the way to go. Just use the Blink Dagger, build onto like a Maelstrom or something like that. Also going to help against the push. Maybe you're going to lose one of your lanes of racks, you might think eventually. So that could be very useful. What I'd like to see from Navi, I think, is Boots of Travel up on General. And it looks like that is probably what he's building towards. It could be the Blink Dagger, but honestly, like, if he can be the one who's actually keeping tabs on Keanu and being able to box in during these scenarios where Dendy catches him out with a lift, there's enough time for him to get in there and guarantee there won't be the spin TP out. And Rise has caught bottom.
They're gonna drop though. Force and Skewer away. He's okay for now. The Hawk, the Wolves even. He'll be able to trace his footsteps, but take a look. The big man's back in his cave. Roshan returns to his mother's basement, and Navi trying to evict him. Trying to take that Agency Immortal, but they're going to push it on him. Well, packs. Do they give it to Dendy? Give it to... Yeah, he's using his last bottle.
Yeah, it's gotta be Dendy.
The regen run down there for him. Tira. Don't look that like him. Guess the fact you've got this Seneko Oracle behind Dendy just looking for that save the entire time. That's what they aim for.
Radiant's top tower is under
Oh, Dendy's getting a Shiva's Guard instead, I guess. Oh wait, but he already has this slot. I feel like that was an accident, because he even gave his bottle away.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. Sure. Aegis is always one of those big items over onto... Oh,
they're diving big.
Catches Big Num. LSA is good and keeps Big Num alive, but he's been blocked up by these creeps. They don't chase and commit though. Navi realizes if they lose a hero here, their push is ended instantly. The Chrono catches Dendy on the very edge, and so his wings are trapped, but it's a good roar. Onto Big Num and the Astral RP onto a number of people. Navi caught, but there's 170 damage left out here, so Laguna Blade takes out Dendy. There's 2 gone already. Oracle is out, and Digirai trying to swipe them in, but the stuns. Digirai is struggling! He's struggling to keep on the target, just being locked in place time and time again. And now they'll finally catch the Juggler, the Lina, and maybe Arise, but they don't have that jump roar again. It's on cooldown for General. On the back end, Cat will blink, time walk, jump himself around, keep himself hopping out. Oh, misses that hit uphill. It'll allow Cheshire Cat to blink away in 3 seconds time, but he's got to be wary about his positioning, running out of mana with a burn from the Necro units. Now he can finally TP away. Blinks up onto the high ground. Gonna jump, he's out. But that that's why you give OD the Aegis. Devastating stuff for Na'Vi. Their push, before they even get to the high ground, is just demolished by PR.
Alright, well, what do you think if there was an Aegis on Dendy during that?
I think
Because it seems like all that control, like, wasted on the Lycan. They played it just right by not killing him, but if that was on the OD, I don't know.
I think Na'Vi wiped them if OD has Aegis.
Yeah.
But then there's also the question that preempts that. If they know OD has Aegis, do they jump on him?
Yeah, but what if you don't jump on the OD? Like, if he comes high ground and you have to commit chrono, like, you have to chrono the OD, right? I feel like that's the only way you're killing him every single time.
One. Oh, Power Rangers still have a number of their ultimates. About 10 seconds. See where Na'Vi push high ground tier 3, take rack, but it also could be where Power Rangers get that one overwhelming teamfight win. Na'Vi to retreat and bail out. With this tier 3 dropping so incredibly quickly though, the inner beast. Oh my god, these Necro units. Slapping away at the rack. Look at that, they're dropping quickly. Arise takes out one of the melee ones. Keanu thinking about getting in there with his empowered Battle Fury swipes. Only flash at the ready. Won't be able to save their melee racks. Does drop to the little wolf, even with a force staff there. Na'Vi, they got what they came for. There's no reason, there's no need to force a fight here when he's pushed into high ground. Do know that Power Rangers have the full arsenal of spells at their whim just to throw out.
I was meant to have this.
Alright, well, now the question is, can you get anything done the next 2 minutes of the Aegis? Probably not. You should just be happy, I think, with the melee. Hope you can maybe find a pick off, and it's unlikely you'll actually have the Aegis prepped and ready to go for your next high ground push, so it's on, I think Pierre needs that nice chrono outside the base for a pick off, and then thanks to the, like, if you can get up towards the Aghanim Scepter, right, he only needs 1200 more gold, and then you can continuously go for pick off, and then defense, pick off, defense, and always have chrono up and ready.
Well, Ditira, you've got this Aegis for, what, a minute and 15 seconds, something along those lines. He's just forced Power Rangers back. Could be somewhere they can turn around on, but Ditira just wants them to try and pop the Aegis and get some utility out of it. You know, you bait an ulti,
Exactly.
you bait an ulti, you bait a couple of spells, and you're all happy. A fully completed Assault Cuirass. Watch what Dendy's doing up at top. He's shoving in its wave so they can transition from mid to top as quickly as they possibly can. So Power Rangers, it's time to set up. Honestly, they need a ward over here somewhere. They need vision in this area, but they've got nothing. They've got no observer wards, they've got no vision of what Na'Vi are doing and what they're prepping for. His art style does not have a creep, but the great thing is he does have Aghanim Scepter with the Dragon Lance, so this impetus throw in Enchantress be shredding through the Juggernaut.
All on Cheshire. I mean, it is really scary, right? Like, you have Cheshire Cat obviously going to having the Chronosphere, and then it is a pretty sick setup for the Magnets, and if anyone's going to get this timing down, it's going to be Arise. You've got the Empower, you've got the Battle Fury for the Omni Slash, so how do you play this from Na'Vi? If you can just split push with Lycan on one side lane, can they kill him without using Chronosphere or RP?
And the big question is, who goes first, right? Because with two heroes like Magnus and Void here, these are heroes that rely and really utilize those split-second actions of jumping in and landing their ultimates. You know, there's a fraction of a second where it's like, right, I can get this chrono on 4, I can get this RP on 4. You have to have such supreme communication between these two players, or at least knowing that, you know, Arise has said, I'm going to RP before you chrono. Or Cheshire Cat is the one that's going to chrono first, but they've got the roar on, so Cheshire Cat's going to be no chrono here, as they just jump straight on in. A good force staff from Arise gets him back, but Dendy drops the hammer. With a buyback available, Cheshire Cat can return to the land of the living, but Ditira's going to be the one that forces himself upon this middle lane with brute strength. Na'Vi will at least try and force this buyback out of Power Rangers, but just look at the Juggernaut down to 2/3 HP from 3 into the shots, and one of those missed. Full lane Iraq's mid. But the summons coming in, RP.
Nice.
All catches 3, Ditcher, Dendy, Ra. They're all getting shredded by that Keanu Juggernaut. Can Dendy escape from this? He doesn't have force stab, he's got nothing to get himself out of here, and he's just straight up Roger, and he's screwed behind these enemy racks. And that's without even using the chrono, which he'll throw onto Seneko. Arise is waiting for the shockwave to steal the kill. Of course. That with gratitude. Lane of racks defended. Na'Vi.
I feel like they're just playing this totally wrong. And part of it is because of the way that Keanu is doing a really good job of pushing that bottom lane. Like, he's always been keeping it pushed out, but there's just Necro units in another lane and you're threatening top. You need all 5 heroes to pull off these combos up top that you're seeing. Like RP, Chronosphere, you need the LSA, you need the Task Bouncing, you need the Death Ward, you need the Laguna Blade. Someone's going to have to be pushing out Necro creeps, you know? Or even if it's just Lycan in another side lane. I mean, he was farming jungle during that anyway, so should probably just be like on the wave, perhaps. Seems like really poor positioning is allowing PR to have a really big shot at this game. Like, I mean, you have to respect the RP and the Chronosphere and play around it.
Definitely do. The BOT's on the Lycan, at least he can get his split push on a little bit harder here. Maybe you think about grouping up 4 of Na'Vi off the top lane and have Lycan just try and split push bottom.
Yeah, and then what are you going to do? Like, if you don't have RP or Chrono, how do you kill Lycan?
Stuff. Go, Mech and Aetherlens, art style. You're going to be heading into that Moonshard, looks like he is. Hyperstone, I mean, you've already got an AC on Ditchira, so you don't need another one of them. Dendy has slowed down a little bit. So, starting progression now, back into the dagger after Shiva's Atos. Shadowblade from Lina. Not something we see every day, but closing in on level 16 with Aghanim Scepter already up, Big Num. I honestly think from the start of the game until now, Big Num, outside of, you know, a massive Fireman Chrono or a massive RP from Arise or Cheshire Cat, this Big Num Lina, and now with the Witch Doctor Aghanims as well, 2 supports of Power Rangers are going to be more impactful than the rest of their team. Just landing a Laguna Blade, getting the numbers advantage, taking out someone like Artstar, someone like Dendy. Therefore, bouncing during a Chronosphere is going to be huge for them.
Big's been doing a great job. I mean, he's more farmed than Artstyle, and Artstyle's had the entire map.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like you said, Na'Vi, through poor positioning choices here, have allowed Power Rangers to get away with a lot of things that really they shouldn't, and a lot of that is farming. You know, Juggernaut was struggling to get Battle Fury in the initial part of this game. Now with Battle Fury Manta sitting at 15,000 net worth, he's caught up to Dendy. Their foot off the pedal a tiny bit in general. Blink BOTs, running low on mana though. And keep this lane pushed in as hard as you can. Like, this is where Na'Vi, they've got to try and keep the lane equilibrium across the river, right? They've got to have these lanes meeting here, here, and here. Because then they just open up the map for themselves. They can farm their jungle if they want to, if they feel pressured. But on top of having the equilibrium there, it's not just that one-part plan. You need vision. You need key vision points. This one's great for watching out for smokes moving across. You've got Wolves now moving in to try and keep tabs on PR. But they've already smoked and they're trying to get this little circular motion in through the jungle. RV. Gonna go for a smoke of their own. Smoke into smoke. One in general. I think they're gonna run themselves down into mid lane and maybe go in for the wraparound like this. Gonna walk straight into the jungle. A to B movement, they're going to walk into... Oh, the Shadowblade's there. Dendy was spotted. Cheshire Cat, Chrono onto Dendy. They're caught the OD. With that false promise down, looking like going to do a decent amount of damage when it comes back up. Na'Vi, they're just shredding through Keanu with the Juggernaut. No mana to pop his ultimate. No mana to do anything. And Power Rangers, they're the ones that are caught out. They didn't get time. They didn't get time, mop packs. Chrono was decent. But Na'Vi just clear up house. From what looked good, turns disastrous, and with buyback only available on your Magnus, you've got no heroes to defend. This is going to be a full lane of racks and maybe even good game. As general, he's on a tier 4.
I mean, it was so good, right? Like, every single one of PR's smokes have worked out extremely well. They got a kill, I think, every single time they came out of the base. That's what you need to go up against these big push strats and everything like that, but... one misstep, you're still so far behind in so many aspects, and unfortunately, that will be the end of it.
Oh, the RP from Arise! Artstar just completely fucked him up with the impetus damage though. Oh my goodness, GG's called it over. Nice done. One viewer has received the prize for witnessing glorious victory of Na'Vi. Congratulations. One viewer.
It wasn't me.
I don't think it was me either. Well, RV showing they've still got it, but showing they're also still a little bit rusty. I think that was good showing from Power Rangers there. Draft a little bit wonky, but good execution nonetheless with something that both of us, we both